from behind us. Come on up.
Nice to meet you too. Oh my gosh, we were working with Neil getting this together.
We could have some people on the staircase too.
Yeah, does anybody want to come and stand on the staircase? You know what? Yeah, no, you're staying
You guys want to come on the staircase right here?
Anybody want
Mike,
to stand on the staircase?
Yeah.
Mayor falls under peace.
That's right. That was news.
In front of camera. Do I look like alfalfa?
Jane, you want to come on the staircase too, Jane? Yes.
Watch out, noise. All of us. Who else we got?
Sorry, what are your name? Jason. Yes.
Hey, Gabby.
Yes. I know you're I know Barbara. It's good. And I just sang the Mary show. And, I went from a place where I had too much parking and we were trying to reduce it.
Maybe that's
to a
why.
place where line parking is the hottest issue was talking about.
You have good laugh.
That's okay.
It's like,
I hear you.
I love it. It's actually true. It's become a signature.
You know what? It inspired me.
When the day comes.
Thank you.
So I have to try and see about house.
All right.
It's up to you. Now it's great for your
It says SEPTA snitch.
Okay. All right.
Because I keep that SEPTA
Give you my card, but it's in the back.
Yeah.
I'm just writing it up here real quick.
Okay.
Don Hill.
Do you want to come stand on this here?
Okay.
The General Chairman. For the conductors and engineers. Conductors and engineers.
Okay, thank you. Got it. Thank you very much.
Sorry,
Looks like the yes is putting up a mic check.
Wait a sec. All right, I think we're ready to go. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Neil McKeeja. I serve as chairman of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners.
Yay.
And thank you. Appreciate it. And also the SEPTA appointee, along with Ken Lawrence, on behalf of Montgomery County on the board of SEPTA. So I'm thrilled to be joined here today with small business owners, neighborhood leaders, elected officials, workers, transit riders, all of whom are standing together to demand action so that we fund SEPTA. And we're here to tell Harrisburg that SEPTA is absolutely vital to communities like Narberth, where we have a main street where people feel a sense of community, where there's opportunity, where it's a great place to raise your family. None of this would be possible without an exceptional transit system. So I'm going to speak and give you a little bit of the background about what we've been advocating for in Harrisburg. You're going to hear from State Senator Amanda Cappelletti, Representative Mary Jo Daley, both who represent Narberth, as well as other parts of Montgomery County and Lower Merion. And you're also going to hear from small business owners and community leaders who are going to tell you about why SEPTA is so critical to Narberth and to Montgomery County as a whole. So SEPTA isn't just about getting from point A to point B. It's about people getting to their jobs and livelihoods. It's about customers getting to their favorite restaurants and, yes, ice cream stores. It's about keeping small businesses, mom and pop shops open as the lifebloods of our communities and to keep them thriving. Right now, all of that is at risk. If Harrisburg doesn't act, we're looking at devastating cuts to SEPTA, including the regional rail line behind us. We would see 5 train lines fully eliminated, as well as dozens of bus routes. And when you cut transit, you don't just harm the riders and leave them stranded. You stifle the entire economy of the region. Small businesses don't have the safety net of a corporation to support them through a difficult moment. They rely on people walking through the door on a daily basis, and those people often get here by train or bus, not to mention the workers who run those businesses. Every defunded train line or service cut will lead to fewer customers. Every canceled route means fewer employees who can get to work on time, and the longer we wait, the worse that gets. If we want our county to grow, if we want Narberth to prosper, Ardmore, Wynwood, the whole main line, we need to ensure transit exists here. We can't let the main line be sidelined. We need young families to be able to also own a starter home in our region. We need young graduates to be able to afford rent. We need seniors to find places to retire in dignity. We can't do that unless we address the housing crisis, which goes hand in hand with providing mass transit. I think it's important to say that it's not SEPTA that's failing. SEPTA has done a tremendous job in recent years, especially, and this year, finding so many different ways to save money. It recently found over $30 million in savings this year alone. It's not SEPTA that's failing, it's Harrisburg that is failing SEPTA. So to go beyond the bare minimum, and so much of what we've heard is, SEPTA in recent years has been in a funding crisis. We had the governor step up last year and provide flex funding from highway funds. All of that has been to maintain the bare minimum, the service that we have today. But I think it's important that we dream bigger and that we think about how we can actually help our communities thrive in places like Narberth. I saw the governor yesterday and we spoke about the importance of our communities, our leaders stepping up and speaking out about what it would mean to fully invest in SEPTA. If we invested $100 million more, which would be closer to on par with other regions, we could have a train stop at this station every 15 minutes. Yeah. Is that something we want to see? So that's what we talk about when we talk about reimagining regional rail, because if we had that level of service, one, people would be able to reach Narberth and connect with the city more quickly. They'd be able to live throughout the county and work across the county and across the region. It would open up economic opportunity, and it would also take traffic off of 76. Is there anyone who wants more traffic on 76? No. So in order to address that, we have to fund SEPTA. We have to make sure that we're loud and clear and that Harrisburg hears us. I'm thankful that today you're going to hear from legislators in Harrisburg who are fighting for SEPTA, who are fighting for our communities. And before you hear from them, I want you to hear from local leaders who are going to tell you what this means. So I'm very excited because every time there's a new business that opens in Narberth, it's a new place for me to eat. So I live not too far from here. One of those great new businesses is a place called Goodness Bowls. Has anyone been there recently? So although I love the bagel shops, I can't eat a bagel every morning. So Goodness Bowls offers healthy options. And I was really delighted that just earlier this year they opened up down this road, very close to us. And I'm going to bring up Sue Paraschetti, who, with her daughter, did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Paraschetti. She said yes. She's so kind. But Sue and her daughter Corinne founded Goodness Bowls in 2019. They're from Monco in Bluebell, but decided to open up a shop here in Narberth very recently. So please join me in welcoming Sue from Goodness Bowls.
Hi, everyone. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you so much, Commissioner. For one, I don't know how much you know about Goodness Bowls, but we are a very small business. It's my daughter and I that started it a few years back. So, you know, being in small towns, we're used to being in communities where having a family business is appreciated and valued. So obviously when we decided where we wanted to be, we have several stores in Montgomery County. Narberth was one of them. So we're really excited to be here. As a small business, obviously we rely on foot traffic. We rely on families and people who value small businesses. So with regard to SEPTA, there's two things I'd like to bring up. For one, SEPTA is such a crucial, this station is so crucial to supporting all of my fellow business owners in Narberth for so many obvious reasons. But also, I just want to touch on the point of the employees that we have. We have a lot of young people. We have a lot of people that come and work at our store from Philadelphia, and they rely on SEPTA to get to work. And so I think, you know, the more human side can't be underestimated, because for me, a lot of them don't have the luxury of having a car to get to work. So I think we really need to think about that as well. For me, I'm lucky enough to be able to get to my stores in my car. But I do have employees that don't have cars, and they rely on SEPTA. So as a small business owner, I think we have to, obviously, there's a lot of us who are very concerned about the commerce side of it, but we also have to think of the human side and how it affects all of us. So with that said, thanks for having me, and I hope things turn out the way that they should.
So next up, we're going to hear from Andrew Ling, who's the owner of Little Blue Owl Coffee and Bakery Company right here. Where's Andrew?
Right behind us.
Andrew, right here. Come on up. Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, so I run the bakery over just behind us. We get a lot of people in the morning that are always taking the train to get to work to go into Philadelphia, so it's like always really busy. I know without the train that kind of business would be a lot less, but even like on the weekends and stuff like that, I see a lot of families come out of Philadelphia out this way. Like my son loves to take the train to Thorndale with my parents just to ride the train. So like we see a lot of people come from Philadelphia to here. So without the SEPTA, that would definitely suffer.
Thank you. So you know, he was just, you know, operating his store, and we said, do you want to come speak at the second? So he did not have time to write lengthy remarks, but I think it's important that you understood that. And we'll all get croissants after this. I'm sure they'll sell out. So thank you, Andrew. All right, so next up, our state senator, Amanda Capoletti. She's been an advocate with her colleagues in the PA State Senate to make sure that this gap is closed. And let me tell you, the Senate is where we all know this negotiation is going to be most critical, and we're so grateful to have an advocate for SEPTA funding, and a fierce one at that, with Senator Capoletti. So thank you.
I rely on the Paoli-Thorndale line to commute to work. I chose to move to Ardmore because the main line has so much life here. I am 24 years old and just starting on my career. What will I do now? Lindsay from Ardmore. I need SEPTA to help my sick mother. I can't help my mom without the Paoli-Thorndale line. Please just help us. Lennon from Narberth. I am deeply distressed about the possibility that SEPTA will close the Paoli-Thorndale line in a few months. As a wheelchair user, I cannot use the train. But one of the people whom I depend does not have a car and uses the train to get to me. Without this kind of assistance, I would not be able to get to doctor's appointments or accomplish the many small tasks that enable me to live outside of an institution. Janet from Bryn Mawr. SEPTA's proposed scenario for 2026 would turn our family's life upside down by eliminating both the regional rail, train, and bus line options that would get us from our small town into the city. We know we are just one of countless families who would face myriad of challenges if these proposed cuts to service become a reality. So many people have built their lives and careers around the region's transportation system, would face higher costs, longer commutes due to traffic, and less ability to get around if they do not have access to a car or the ability to drive. Mandy from Narberth. Years ago, my husband and I chose our house largely because of its proximity to the local SEPTA rail stop, Narberth. The small strip of local businesses that surround it. We have depended on it and enjoyed it ever since. This is a vital part of our community and our lives. It reduces pollution and congestion. Our trains are often full, crowded. Citizens really use this service. Please do not make any cuts. Nancy from Narberth. What can I say that my constituents haven't already told my office? Over 450 people who live in Senate District 17 have reached out to my office since the announcement of SEPTA's proposed cuts to express their support for our public transit and to ask their elected officials to heed their calls. Our communities depend on public transit. We're here in Narberth today because we know the station is not only vital to the community members who live here, but also the ones who work here, who own small businesses here, and who visit here. So what's next? Well, I'm making an ask of you. I ask that you continue to join me, my colleague, Representative Mary Jo Daly, the commissioners of Montgomery County. Join us all in this fight. When your state elected officials go back to Harrisburg, and that includes me, the first week of June, keep up that pressure. It's going to be up to all of us and all of you to ensure that this funding makes it across the finish line. As a member of the Appropriations Committee, I have made it crystal clear to my colleagues that funding SEPTA is a top priority for me and our district. And like many of my Democratic colleagues, I am also a co-sponsor on the bill to increase public transit funding in this budget and building a sustainable path to funding public transit all across the Commonwealth. I'm all on board for SEPTA, so thank you for being here with us in this fight and being here today.
So next up, we're going to hear from Ed Ridgway. Ed is the president of the Business Improvement District here. Ed? You got Ed? Thank you, Ed.
Good morning. I'm the president of the local business association. We're just one business association from one of the many towns along the main line. The towns that in my day job as a real estate agent, I hear people say all the time that they want to live in these kind of little walkable towns. They want to live in places like Narberth and Ardmore and Bryn Mawr and Wayne because they don't have to take cars to do everything in their lives. They can walk, they can bike, they can take public transportation. So public transportation is helping reduce congestion and reduce pollution. So please help us support public transportation because it helps all of us. Thank you.
So next, please welcome our state representative, Mary Jo Daly. State Representative Daly has been riding SEPTA since she was a teenager,
Even earlier than that.
even earlier than that, and still rides SEPTA to Center City regularly. And She's been a strong advocate for SEPTA, and I have to say, the Pennsylvania House has already passed funding SEPTA 3 times. So we thank the House leadership for their work. Please welcome Representative Oakendale.
Thank you, Neil. Good morning, friends. It's so good to be here with all of you in Narberth, my hometown, where SEPTA is not just a convenience, it's part of who we are. It's the lifeline that connects us, that makes our community work, that allows us to live and thrive. But today, I'm not just speaking as a legislator, I'm speaking as someone who's personally connected to this issue and to the train station right here in Narberth. When my late husband was sick, I spent many days walking with my dear friend Dorothy from our jobs at the University of Pennsylvania, taking the train back home to Narberth. I don't think I really fully realized it at the time, but those moments on the train, as we traveled through the heart of the region, were some of the most healing moments of my life. They allowed me to reflect, to step away from the stress, and to just feel the quiet hum of the community that I love so much. That train, the very line, the main line, is now threatened with discontinuation. It was a source of comfort and connection to me, and it's the same for countless other families in this area. Without it, we face not just the inconvenience of losing a transit option, but the disruption of something much deeper, the loss of a link to our sense of belonging, to the ties that bind us together as a community. That's why this issue is so personal for me. It's not just about numbers on a page or policy decisions made in a distant office. It's about real people. It's about the young professionals who depend on SEPTA to get to work. It's about seniors who use the train to stay connected to their families and their community. It's about students heading home after a long day at school. It's about all of us, our lives, our routines, our futures. We are facing a $213 million budget shortfall in SEPTA's funding. Without additional support, services like the train station here in Narberth could be cut, along with dozens of bus routes and rail lines that so many of us rely on every day. If that happens, it's not just an inconvenience. It's a blow to our local economy, to job access, and to our quality of life. I know there are a lot of voices here today. Many of the speakers may talk about statistics and economic impact, but I want to ask you to think about something beyond the numbers. Think about what it means to have a community that's connected. Think about the people who depend on SEPTA, not just as a mode of transportation, but as a vital link to everything that makes our region a great place to live. Your voices matter. Keep speaking up. Keep writing and calling and meeting with your legislators. Tell them, tell us, that this isn't just about money, it's about people. It's about Narberth. It's about all the communities that SEPTA serves. It's about making sure the healing moments we all find in our daily lives aren't lost, that our connections remain intact, and that we continue to move forward together. I'm going to give you a little bit of a commercial now. I'm hosting a roundtable on this topic on June 5th at the Lower Merion Township Building in Ardmore from 10 to 11:30 a.m. We will gather business leaders, local officials, and community advocates to discuss the impact of SEPTA funding and strategize ways to protect the future of our transit system. I hope you'll join us, and I hope you'll continue to stay engaged in this fight for our trains, for our communities, and for the people who depend on SEPTA. So thank you, Narberth. Let's keep this fight going, and if you're on my email list, you will get an email about that, the roundtable. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we're going to hear from a few of our local officials here in Narberth, starting with Narberth Borough Mayor, Andrea Deutsch. Go ahead.
Thank you, Neil, and thank you everyone who came out. Today we're here in support of maintaining the SEPTA line. We stand here as a united community, one that cares deeply about Narberth and its future. Narberth's a borough that developed because of it was surrounded the train line. There's a reason this area is referred to as the main line. For decades, SEPTA has been the backbone of our region's mobility. It gets our doctors, nurses, and patients to hospitals. It gets our workers to jobs, our seniors to vital appointments. Access to SEPTA opens up the world for those with a myriad of disabilities that makes driving impossible. Now, due to budget shortfalls and declining funding, SEPTA faces the possibility of cutting services. For Narberth, this would be devastating. Reduced service on the Paoli-Thorndale line, or worse, the elimination of the line altogether, would create a ripple effect of hardship, affecting our local economy, our environment, and our quality of life. Let me be clear. Public transportation is not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's our responsibility to fight for it. Without SEPTA, our roads will get more congested. According to a recent study by the Delaware Region Planning Commission, if proposed cuts to SEPTA happen, at least 275,000 vehicles would hit the road daily. Many of those vehicles will be in our area, making commutes longer, more draining, and making our air less clean. Without cars, students, seniors, working people, people with disabilities, they'll be stranded. Our local businesses will see fewer customers and less foot traffic. They will, as you've already heard, lose crucial employees who can no longer get to work. Property values will be greatly diminished. According to that same study, the proposed SEPTA cuts would conservatively impact in the amount of $19.5 billion in the area, which is an estimated $57,000 per house. We simply can't let that happen. I mean, that's ridiculous. So here's what we can do. You can make your voices heard, speak up, speak to your public officials, let them know how it would affect you. Show up, as you did today. When there's meetings, when there's things happening, show up and let people know that this is not okay. This is not okay and you won't stand for it. Educate yourselves. We can learn about and understand the critical importance of SEPTA and the vitality and health of our community. One great resource is the website www.paoli-thorndale.com. Our wonderful councilman, Mike Gaudini, who's behind me and who will speak, has taken the time and effort to educate us all on this very crucial subject. I urge you to go to the website and learn some of the heavy facts that would happen and the impacts, the devastating impacts that would happen if we don't get the proper funding. Let's all fight for SEPTA. Not just because it stops here in Narberth, but because it keeps our town connected, our economy moving, and our values alive.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for your many years of service. I know you decided not to run again, but you've been a fantastic advocate for Narberth, so thank you. Thank you so much. And last night, it was a long night for many of us. Many people were up, poll workers and those overseeing the election. Very excited that we have who will presumably be the next mayor of Narberth, Dana Edwards, who's a SEPTA advocate, and I know will be carrying that baton. So thank you for stepping up and serving. And we're going to fix the bridge. We're going to work on that together. So, also like to introduce here locally our Narberth Council President, Fred Bush.
All right. Thank you, Neil, and thanks to everybody coming out on this rainy day. This is a really personal issue for me because I wouldn't be here without the R5. I'm not from the area, and I first learned about Narberth when I was commuting to work to Radnor on the R5. Then later on, when we decided to move into the area, we were looking for a walkable downtown, and most importantly, we needed to have a train line so my wife could commute into work. And it's not a surprise that the train is what brought me to Narberth, because the train is what literally put Narberth on the map. If you'll indulge a little history lesson, this was all farmland. This was just a lot of farms until the railroad came through. There was a trading post all the way over, at the end of Montgomery, but all of this shopping area, all of the housing, all of that came through because of the railroad. And the borough is really built around the railroad. We're a suburb, and the houses don't have garages. Now that's not how they build them these days, but it's because we're a railroad community. And the only reason we have all these wonderful shops down here is because of the railroad coming through. It's no coincidence that our new shops that we're talking about that have been mentioned, Jenny's and Goodness Bowls, those are new developments that have come in right here at the near the train station. We have further developments planned down here around the train station, and it's driving a lot of the vitality of the community. And